Hello and welcome to the Quebber channel. I'm Jason, your host, and we're gonna do a little bit of an instruction video on setting up a local language model, a home assistant, someone to talk to, an AI of your very own. Now the thing is this, when it comes to hardware, you can run a large language model basically on anything. There's innovative people out there. I'm surprised someone hasn't figured out how to get one work on a blooming fridge or some AI fridge or something yet. But when it comes down to it, what is important is VRAM. If you want speed, if you want it to respond in real time, VRAM is king. It doesn't matter how much normal memory you've got on your system, how much RAM. It doesn't matter how good your processor is. It will never match. You can try to run it on those parts if you don't have a very good graphics card, but you will come into limitations. Now, this computer we are running on at the moment is somewhat, for me, a worst case scenario. What do I mean by that? And it's a Minisforum mini PC. It's got a 7840HS processor on it. It's got an okay amount of normal memory. But what I am using a USB 4 Thunderbolt 3 compatible cable to connect with an eGPU, and I have a 4060 Ti 16 gigabytes in the eGPU. Now, not only does this cause issues because, USB for integration and that isn't perfect. It will add some issues, but so that's why I say, if you've got a computer with a 4060 Ti inside on your main motherboard, you're going to do better. Why do I choose the 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte? Because it is the sweet spot. It is the cheapest card you can get of this generation of NVIDIA. And sadly, I hate to point it out to you, but still, even though I love Team Red, Team Green is far better for AI, far better for AI. It has, even their lowest power cards still trump the AMD cards, unfortunately. Now, the 4060 Ti is not a good thing to buy for games, really. You can game on it, and it's good for VR. It's good for VRchat for the same reason that it's good for AI, and that is this massive 16 gigabytes worth of VRAM. In VRchat, as anybody who plays VR and uses VRchat will know that it is a VRAM hog, so using that card, brilliant for VR. But when it comes to AI, it is the sweet spot. It only has 128-bit bandwidth, but that's okay. We've also got the limitations of an external GPU. So I'm going to show you basically how all this works. I'm going to be pausing the videos now and then because the bits and pieces that we have to do are going to be a pain in the ass, and some of the stuff is slow to download and so on, but we will see what we do. So first thing you need to do, and there is lots of what are called LLM, large language models interfaces. Now I, as a base interface, use Ubabuga. I put a link in the description below of where to get it. But there is lots of versions of these kind of things. It's completely free. You just go to the GitHub page. If you're on Windows, you just go down to the latest version, find how to install. We can clone up on the start and all this kind of thing. So we'll download them. Let it download. We've got it there. I've already got another version there. So I've downloaded it. It's a very small file. I shall open that and I shall grab it. You won't be able to see this bit, but so we want to. I'm using Windows 11 as well on this one, so you don't want to try to run it in a program file. You don't want to run it in your downloads folder. You don't want to run it in a any of the official directories and that on your computer. You want to stick it somewhere on a base directory. I've got it on a system here, so I am going to just create a new folder and call it AI2 because I've already got stuff installed on here, but this is us starting from the beginning. So let me open up another window. Properties. Okay, let's. Oh, come on, let's put it there. We're not going to AI2. So all I'm going to do, go into AI2, paste over what I just grabbed, change the 2 from there, and we're going to use 7-zip to extract the files to thingy. As simple as that. Go into here, and if you scroll all the way down to here, and we press, you can use this on Linux, you can use it on Mac OS and that. So I'm going to start the Windows, and I will also grab this window. Yes, let's grab that window. It's installing Miniconda and things like that. It's basically just a script that will install all the bits and pieces, all the dependencies. It's got a lot to install. It's just verifying it all and doing blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm going to switch over this screen to we are doing properties. We are going to go over to terminal window. No, that's the wrong one. So which is the terminal window? Actually, the terminal window is right, and we want there. That should allow you to see it. So once you've run the batch file for whatever operating system you've got, of course I'm on Windows. Now, what is your GPU as the first one? Of course, like you say, you can run this on it only works on Linux, Mac OS for thingy. You can get workarounds to use an AMD graphics card, but it works better with things. So you've got the Apple series, the Intel Arcs, it's all supported in some way. Brilliant people who create all this stuff. So all I have to do is on this input line is type, make sure I'm actually talking on the wrong one. Right, freaking screen, Jason. A fun-ended idea for me, and just press that. Do you want to use CUDA? No. Press, we want to use the more modern version of CUDA. So just there. And it will just start doing its install of bits and pieces. And depending on your internet connection, it will take a little while for it to do all these bits and pieces. This is the core interface that we are going to be using. And we're going to download a very small LLM as an example. Now, could take a little while. So this is just going to go. Now, you might have to run it a few times. It might install a dependency and then quit out. And all you do is rerun that file until it gets past all the bits and pieces that are going to be needed. Now, I'm going to pause this here because this could take a while, and I'm going to let the dogs out, and I will be back in a second. Just to unpause for a few seconds, just so you can see all the different things that downloaded. It's just doing its bits and pieces. Remember, this isn't the fastest PC. This is a little mini PC that I've got disconnected through for. You could use a NAS. You could use anything. You can set up a virtual machine to do all this kind of thing. So yeah, this is the basics. So pause this again while I get a few things done while it's doing its install of happiness. Okay, we're back, and it had finished its install. Woohoo! So what we do is we just grab this here and put it on a tab here on Windows, and I'll activate it so you can see it. Right, we have a interface there. So if I change this, I don't do these things. So this is the Ooga Booga Wooga Wooga, as I call it, interface. There's no AI there. We're not connected to an AI, even though it's saying that. This is a very powerful system for interaction with an LLM. Now it's running in the background. We will go to models here. Now what we've got to do, we don't have any models. We don't have any models downloaded. So we need to grab one. So you go to somewhere like Hugging Face. I'm going to put the link to their models page into here so I can put it all down in the description below. Hugging Face, paste. So, hello Bertie, Bertie wants love. So what we're looking for is, if we go into models and we look for something like see this is text generation, Microsoft 5.3. Every day new LLMs go up on the websites. We're looking for like a 13 billion one. We have a limitation of VRAM. We've got 16 gigabytes of VRAM, which means we can run a 20 billion system. So I'm going to just try to find a let's have a look down here, see what we can find. Mistral text generation 7 billion instruction. I have no idea whether this is any good, but we're going to grab you. Let's files and versions. It's probably, but you have to access. I agree. I sign away my life. So yes, this is a. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. I am going to grab the file here. We're going to go back into this and we're going to paste it into there, and we're going to press the download button. Right, what's it saying? Error on that one. Wonder if we can do it through this. Paste it in there. No, there's something wrong with what I've pressed in there. This happened. So give me a sec to figure out why it isn't downloading. Okay, I'm going for one that I know works. Remember, things change so much, so quick in AI, that things that you would expect to work. So once again, we're here. The bloke, he does a lot of stuff to do with this. So we're going to go for this model. So we're going to Sci-Fi to 2. We're going to grab it. This time, we are hoping it would work. So we just paste it into here. Download. There, that's downloading. Now we can switch over to, I need to show you what's going on. Okay, it's just downloading the actual files at the moment. Once it's done, I've got a pretty good internet connection. Hello, Bertie. Bertie wants a love. So we're just going to be waiting for this to install. It's a 7.26 gigabyte model. It'll run quite happily, or should run quite happily, on this system. So I'm going to pause this while it's just downloading, because all it is doing is downloading. Sometimes if it's a really big model, I will leave it going overnight and just set it downloading a model and then come back in the morning to test the model out. I have lots of models downloading. Hello, Bertie. Bertie's a good boy. So I'm going to pause this now and be back in a sec. I don't want this video to be too long. It's going to be long anyway, but yeah. Okay, as you can see, the model is downloaded fully. So let me just pause this while I set up the rest. Okay, so it modeled successfully. save to wherever it's saved to, then I refresh this and that model will be available here. It'll already be set to use the model loader within here. It already knows what it's going to use it for. You don't have to mess with any of this. You don't want to mess with this. Mostly these, I'm not going to go into detail on these, but basically we just press the load button and it will load the model. And if there isn't an error, which we're hoping that there isn't an error, it will load the model. Successfully loaded. Right, now if we go to chat, okay. There, you have a model. It is running on your computer. We are not using the internet. We are not using ChatGPT. This is a model. There's thousands and thousands of models out there for role play, for anything you want to do. This is just the first level. This is the base of setting up. You can connect this using what we call sessions and plugins and that. You can give it so it'll have longer responses, longer replies, add in Google Translate, gallery. You can give it a personality. You can add things like Superbooger version 2, which you can create and tune an AI without needing all of the big tech to do it. What you use is Superbooger, and then you throw a load of data, a load of files, anything that's important to you, anything that's said in the chat, it will remember. And so it's a form of almost vector-like memory system for it. And so therefore it will remember who you are and so on like that. Speech to text, you can do it, talk, you can have it so it talks. If we turn on let's just have a quick try that. Let's turn on both text to speech. And whisper means I can talk to it via my voice. So now sometimes when you reload this, it gets a bit squiffy. So usually I do it before I start messing with it. So let's just apply those things and see if it reloads. It may actually go, what the hell are you doing? Allow. Okay. Right. Let's try this. We're doing this live anyway. Hello AI, how are you today? It didn't pick it up. That's because I'm unfortunately, I'm recording to OBS and I can't do dual channels, so we can't do that. But if we just we went to whisper, speech to text. That's okay. So we need to bring this up. Okay. So I can't show you that because we'd have to load stuff in the background. What you'll know if it's actually recording, it's got a little red mark on your browser, and you can actually talk to it in real time, and it will reply to you. You can have it reply in many different types of voices and so on. We're not going to go into the deep dive of this, but let's just say this is the wonderful thing of a large language model. Would you be able to help me learn the Python language? Using the creation of a simple adventure game in Python as examples. Do you see what I mean about the power that you've got in your computer? Okay, so it will have issues, it will have errors, it will hallucinate, it will try to tell you stuff. If it doesn't know the knowledge, it might try to imagine something or create something to fit it. But let's switch gears straight away. A low calorie cake using UK Do you see the power of this? I'm not connected to the internet. I'm not using the internet. I'm not using an online thingy. I am just using what we just installed. This is the beauty of it. I love films. Can you suggest me 10 films for a marathon watching? This is the basics. We are doing with the very, very basics. You then connect it to something called Silly Tavern. You create a personality for it. You access it via once you've got this set up on your computer, you can access it via your tablet, via your phone, via another computer in the room. For example, remember, I'm disabled. A lot of my coping strategies is to do with I'm autistic. I have bipolar and everything else. And having this as a friend, as a companion in the house helps a lot. So I can say, hey, what film should we watch tonight? Then I can link in or grab using the Ooga Booga version 2 or whatever it is, the thingy. I can grab the wiki for the film, throw it into the system, and then I can go in the other room and use a tablet to talk to her or him or whatever you've decided and have a conversation with her about the film I'm watching that she helped me choose. This is amazing. This is wonderful. So that's actually a pretty nice set of films that you could watch. District 9 is awesome. Inception. All these kind of things. And then tell me more about fifth. Here's where we go a bit interesting here. Right. So, what is your favorite spell, Jason? What is your favorite character in the fifth? And why? Yeah. Right. I didn't even know. Is Gary Oldman even dead? I'm not sure. Let me just check. You see, this is what I mean by hallucinations. This is what I mean. May actually be the late great. Is he still alive? Let me check. I'm going to have to fact check that. Because I didn't even know Gary Oldman was dead. Gary Oldman isn't dead. That's an example of hallucination. It could have come from information found on the internet when it was taught. Someone might have been talking about him being dead, And if that got through all the fact checking when it was taught and all its experience, you can retrain it and tell it that no, that's wrong. So it isn't dead. Yeah, so we can, and you can keep, if you've, as long as you've added on the actual memory system, it will remember stuff like that. This is an example of it can be an amazing tool, but you've got to be aware that it's not perfect and it will make mistakes, and you have to teach it. And the more you teach it in that, the more you can refine it to your personal preferences. You can tell it about yourself. You can create a character. You can tell it a detailed thingy. You can even talk about mental illness and everything, and there's special models that you can download that can help. But you've always got to be aware of this hallucinations. They imagine things. They're like a puppy that wants to please, and if they don't know the answer, they'll create an answer or something they think you want to hear. So you have to be aware of that. But it's freaking amazing. So this is Jason for the Clever Channel. I'm going to do another video on Silly Tavern, but that's a whole different thing to get that going and that. This is the basics. So this is bye-bye for now.